How's it going? My name is Jumpy. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 2018 movie Bumblebee. This is a continuation of my last video. Friend had a bee in her house, and I suggested we watch The Beekeeper. We did. After that, she committed to the bee bit and threw Bumblebee on, which is a good joke. I wish I'd made it. A few weeks after that, I rewatched it on my own to write this video. I've never seen any of the other Transformers movies, but Bumblebee is a prequel and has a new director. Michael Bay directed the first 5 Transformers movies that came before this, and I'm not a big fan of his. Of his other movies that I've seen, I thought The Rock was okay, but fuck Pain and Gain, and I didn't like Bad Boys 1. Just give me jokes about Bad Boys 2 and Hot Fuzz, and I'm good. But at some point, I'll check out a couple other non-Transformers movies of his out of morbid curiosity. Maybe I'll cover them in a video. I don't know. Back to Bumblebee. It was written by Christina Hodson, who also wrote the Harley Quinn movie Birds of Prey, which I enjoyed a lot, and Unforgettable, which I actually saw in a theater. It's not a good movie, but I enjoyed the hell out of that experience. I don't know who I'd recommend it to, but keep that in mind that I can get a lot of enjoyment out of bad movies because I'm going to bring that up again later. Bumblebee takes place in 1987. It begins with a bunch of robots fighting in space. There's the Autobots, including Bumblebee and Optimus. They're up against the evil Decepticons. Bumblebee goes to Earth to scout the place and prepare a camp for the other Autobots. There are some military people shooting at each other with paintball guns. One of these is an agent played by Cena, who I have been a big fan of ever since I saw Suicide Squad 2 and Blockers very close to each other. He is so funny in both of those movies, so I was glad to see him in this film. Bumblebee interrupts the festivities, and they immediately chase after him and start shooting real guns at the robot, including one that very likely fires 6,000 rounds per minute. The Decepticons are right behind him. Bumblebee refuses to talk, and they rip out Bumblebee's robot throat, so he can't speak anymore. He retaliates by blowing up that Decepticon, and it's pretty cool. He loses his memory and wanders off before turning into a car. We then meet Charlie, played by Hailee Steinfeld. It's the day before her 18th birthday. She throws out her old diving trophies because she gave up that life many moons ago. Much like the really early setup in the movie Crawl, it's just so obvious that she's going to dive at some point later on, and that's charming to me. If she ever wants those trophies back, she can just dive into trash piles at the dump to find them. Her dad passed away, and her mother has moved on and is now dating a guy named Ron. Charlie goes to work at an amusement park that's by the ocean. There's a roller coaster, which is awesome. Among the other rides is a Ferris wheel, but I didn't see it running during this scene. I guess it was Ferris wheel's day off. Charlie makes lemonade and bumps into a popular kid on accident, and some girls are mean to her. After work, she goes to hang out at a junkyard, and she knows her shit when it comes to cars. She finds the Bumblebee car there. The next day, she gets some weak-ass gifts from her mom and her mom's boyfriend. She wants that car, so she offers to help out at the junkyard, but the old man just gives it to her. After she becomes the Bumblebee keeper, she fixes him up in a scene where time progression is shown so that it looks like there are multiple Charlie clones. And she drives him home. There, she discovers he can transform into a giant robot. He's scared and acts like a frightened animal at first. After this, it's a lot of fun seeing Charlie bond with Bumblebee and try to keep it a secret that he's a robot from everyone. There's a kid on our block named Memo who has a crush on her and finds out about Bumblebee, and they have some good scenes together. He has a poster of John Carpenter's The Thing in his bedroom, and I guess there is a very superficial similarity to Transformers in that they're aliens that came to Earth and can mimic something here to hide. Coincidentally enough, there's also a poster for The Thing in Megan 2.0. Apparently, I'm going to mention that movie in every video now. In Bumblebee, I also liked that there was a car that looked like the family truckster from National Lampoon's Vacation and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. There's a bit I really like in Bumblebee where they all get payback on a mean girl who is giving Charlie shit for her dead dad. In The Beekeeper, Jason Statham tears through people like tissue paper. In Bumblebee, the title character crushes a roll of toilet paper when they're out getting revenge. That part made me laugh, as well as some other parts, and John Cena has some really funny moments. like when he gets mad at a door. The only bit I didn't like was the Rickroll song. However, the action scenes are a lot of fun. But I have to mention that there is a scene that begins with a close up of a toaster, and then a Pop Tart jumps out. This is exactly like a scene in Silent Hill Revelation, which is my favorite So Bad It's Good movie because it's so funny. It fails as both an adaptation of the game Silent Hill 3 and as a horror film. That movie just pissed most people off, but I love it. And I don't know when I'm going to talk about Silent Hill again, so I'll share that when I got the first movie on DVD from a used movie place, the man at the register told me he watched it and that quote unquote, the guy with the giant knife was very rude. Back to Bumblebee again. Towards the end of the movie, there's a scene that gave me some flashbacks to Madam Web, mainly in its location. I also watched that one recently, and I actually really enjoyed it. I'm not doing a video on it either. It's definitely not good, and it's easy to nitpick and laugh at everything wrong with it, but it's very watchable and I had fun. It's just weird to me that it seems to have become one of the internet's go-to examples of a truly terrible movie. I don't know. I can't give it a general recommendation, but I would definitely watch it again. Now the question becomes, would I watch Bumblebee again? Yes. I enjoyed Bumblebee a lot. It doesn't make me want to watch the other Transformers movies at all, but it's a good standalone film. I'm giving Bumblebee a 7 out of 10. And I'm ending the video with some spoilers for the endings for both the Beekeeper and Bumblebee. Stop the video here or get ready to cover your ears for a couple seconds. To give you time to prepare, I'm going to point out a trivial connection between the movies that I noticed. Megan Price shows up in Bumblebee, and she played the mom on the TV sitcom Grounded for Life, which also features Kevin Corrigan, who is in Goodfellas, which is a film that gets mentioned by one of the characters in The Beekeeper. Spoilers incoming. I just found it very amusing that both The Beekeeper and Bumblebee end with a government agent letting the title character get away. That's everything I have to say. Take care, and thanks for watching.